welcome, guys. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Come on into the village. This is a safe place. This is an inviting place, and I invite you and welcome you to the village. Listen, we have been doing this for a year. So happy birthday to the village. Shout out to all of you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the village. We are so excited because we are going to continue our conversation about teacher leadership. That's right. That's what we're doing. So if you are a teacher and you want to take your leadership game to the next level, you want to grab your pen and paper because we have a dynamic and special guest with us, Joi Brown, a leadership expert, author, and professor, is here to tell us more about leadership. So grab your pen, grab your paper, and let's get ready to dig in and talk about my favorite topic, teacher leadership. Now, Joi Brown, welcome to the village. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yes, I am excited to be here. Welcome to the village. Woo! I'm excited to talk about leadership and teaching. Yes.
Yes. So listen, Joi, I know you're not a teacher, but that's all right. I'm not going to hold that against you. But you are a leadership expert. And when teachers want to know more about leadership, we look at other industries and we look to other experts to learn more about leadership. So, Joi, tell us a little bit about your leadership journey. Like, how did you even start? What was your first steps to leadership? I want to hear more about Joi.
All right. Well, thank you. I am excited to be here. So where it all started. And I would say that, again, leadership is not about a title. You can lead at any level. Because I remember when I was younger, always taking that leading role, making sure the group was together, planning the activity. So I always knew that I was a leader. But where my start is, just a little bit about myself. I have over 22 years within the federal government, and I started as an intern. So my journey was from intern to supervisor to now what? So I am on my what's next chapter of my life. And everything. And so again, it started off again, as I said, that intern, that first job, right out of college. And remember what my mother said, show up, be positive. When you finish an assignment, go ask for other things, take the initiative, be professional, show up well, all of that. Don't burn any bridges. You want to be invited back. So it was those words of encouragement that during my summer, with the Office of Personnel Management, I got invited back on my break in December. So you know how you go to college, you got the winter break. They asked me to come back. I said, sure. And it was when I came back, they started talking to me about, are you interested in going to school and working? I'm like, yes, I am. So I did that, and I started my federal government career as an intern. And then when I graduated at the University of Maryland in College Park, I was converted, and I started my HR journey. So I have over 22 years growing up in HR. I love HR. To me, HR is about helping people and organizations be the best that they can be. And so it is truly my calling and purpose. And so I always love teaching, and I'm an adjunct professor. So I'm always that educator at heart. So I definitely understand. I'm definitely interested in pipeline development and the future talent.
Awesome. So I want to hear more about some of the things that you've learned along your journey, because like you said, leadership is not about a title. Mm-hmm. And it's what I like to say is leadership is a mindset. So as you're going on your journey, as you're learning different things, what are some lessons that you've learned along your journey?
That's very good. I would say one is most important, know your craft. I think you got to start there, knowing your craft, because again, that helps you with your technical expertise. That gives you credibility. So whatever it is, learn it, study it, be the best at it. Have an interest in it. It all starts with those gifts and talents. And I said, for me, in HR as an intern, especially when I finished my schooling, I was like, okay, what am I going to go for my master's? Now, in HR, didn't even know there was a master you could get in human resource development. And so I always say stuff in life happens for a divine. And I knew that God directed me, so, hey, why don't you do HR? And it changed my life. So everything I do is about people. So I would say first thing, lessons learned is learn your craft. The other thing is network. It's so important along this journey. Yes. You got to network with people who are inspiring to do what you're doing, who are already in that role. build your network. That is so important because they will deposit things in you, provide opportunities. But if you don't, one, know your craft and know who's in the industry or doing things that you want to do, you got to network. You know how many opportunities can come by just say, hey, I'm interested. Can I ask you questions? Can I interview you? So you got to learn that networking. That is so
Yes,
important.
yes. And for our teachers, you can join the village. We are a network. This is for teachers to come together, collaborate, network, share ideas, share best practices. So that is so true. That is one of the pillars of the village, to collaborate and to
Yes.
learn from one another. So that's awesome that you said that. And as teachers, we do have to learn our craft. We have to be practitioners and learners of what we do. We just can't say, oh, I'm a teacher. No, this is our passion. This is our profession, and we have to study it. Like you said, you have to know it. So I love that. I love it. I love it. So, Joi, I know you are a professor. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing as far as being a professor at Bowie State.
Yeah, so I am so proud. I am, again, a graduate of Bowie State University. I graduated in the 2006 with my master's in the Human Resource Development Department. So I always stay connected after graduation. And so I get a great joy. And in that introduction class, I give my bio, but I tell my students, hey, I am a product of this program. I too sat in your seat with my son who was in class with me when I was
I know
at
that's
Bowie
right.
State. So he all knows. Even my professor says, yes, I remember Joy and my son Devontae was in class, but I got it done. So I just tell them that you stay on this course, and I just share with them how HR has blessed my life and what you can do in the field of HR. Because one thing about human resource development, they are transferable skills. And so that's another thing when you talk about those lessons learned as a hiring manager. I'm looking for a well-rounded person, but I'm also looking for those transferable skills that you all
Mhm.
have that can be able to transfer to any job, and how you're able to analyze and be analytic, and how you write, and how you're able to collaborate, and how you're able to engage. All of that is what we need that in the workplace.
Awesome. So I want you, Joi, to tell us a little bit about your book, because you guys just finished launching the book. So I know now you're an author. So this again is a journey, and you've learned so much, and now you wrote it down and you're sharing it with the people. So tell us about this amazing book that you're launching.
Oh, so yes, yes, yes. So I am a second-time author, super excited. I became an author in December with my first book called Silhouettes from Authentic Coaches for Mind, Body, and Soul. So again, my chapter was about the transformation, being your best self. And I brought it from a health perspective because I'm also a fitness instructor. So again, why did I get into fitness and health? Because I like dancing and I wanted to be an inspiration to others. So with this next book, which is super exciting, it's called Step into Leadership Greatness. Leadership is not about a title, and that is so true. So true. We all know too many leaders that's in leadership roles that clearly have the title, but do not know anything about people. So one thing,
Amen.
this
Say
is
that
a,
part
and
again.
I know that's right. So this is an anthology that's going to bless your life. That's going to give you practical tools and strategies how to lead at any level. Any level. And so
Any level. Yes.
any level. So my chapter is about conflict because we know about conflict, y'all. Conflict is gonna happen always. It's like change. It's gonna happen. You're gonna have to deal with it. But we often know what happens when people don't deal with conflict. We just brush it under the table. We don't deal with the elephant in the room. And so as a leader, we cannot do that. And so I give people practical strategies of how to know about some triggers, how to know about some styles, and give you some practical tools to help you deal with that conflict. Also, have them uncomfortable conversations. Because we all know we just like, I don't see it. And as a teacher, you all know, like you said, the student that has been passed along, the employee that's been working for 30 years, you become their supervisor. Now you got to deal with them. Like, and that was my situation. Became a supervisor in a new organization, had a quote problem employee. You know what they say. And I'm like, she been here. What? So it's my job, because now I'm her supervisor. So how do you deal with that? And so this is a great book. Again, you can lead at any level and step into your leadership greatness. So we're super excited about this book that's coming next week.
Awesome. Now, one of the things that the village talks about all the time, different posts that I share, articles that I share, we talk about how, like you said, that leadership is not about a title. But one of the things that I also share is about knowing your strengths and identifying your strengths so that you can leverage those strengths to increase your teaching or improve your teaching practice, and also to help develop your team. So when we read this book, we learn about how to leverage our strengths and how can we also tune up our weak areas as well as leaders. So tell us a little bit about that as far as.
Oh yeah, very good stuff. I am always a product of managing to your strengths. That whole strength finder is great, and that's that whole gifts and talent. Like if you know what you're gifted in and leading to those strengths, and how does that show up? I think so. Yeah. So in this book, you're going to identify some of those strengths, some of those areas that you're going to need to work on, and you're going to walk away with some practical strategies and tips that you're going to be able to utilize in your day-to-day life. So definitely, but that is so great because again, you're looking at your strengths and talent. How does that show up? How does that apply to the classroom? If you're, and then you, like you said, I love this whole concept of the village. That's that whole networking. As the village, we got to network. We got to strategize. We like, hey, if you've done it well, how did you do it? Oh, so let me try that. And then if it doesn't work out, then I can say, well, this is the way I had to apply it in this situation. But you got to utilize that village. And that's that whole thing about networking. When we always say it's not who you know, it's like what you know, it's both. That open them opportunities of that who you know, and then that expertise will help you break down those doors and reach new heights.
Exactly. And also, one of the tips that we'd like to talk about is also being prepared. And I know within your book, I know some of the authors, I read about their story, and I also participated in some of your discussions on social media. And as an HR specialist, I know you know about making sure that you are prepared for that next opportunity. So even if you're, waiting for that next job or that career promotion, the career job or whatever, you should still make sure that you are prepared now for your next opportunity. So speak to us for those teachers who's thinking about moving, up to the ladder or becoming an administrator or taking on an additional responsibility or a leadership role. What can they do now in order to prepare for that next level of leadership?
That is such a great question because again, what is this season I'm working on? Getting ready for your next. And that's also a masterclass that I have coming up. Talk about how do you position yourself to get ready for your next. And again, that next can be a next promotion, a new opportunity, but are you ready? So what does that look like? One is about, again, knowing thyself. What do you want? Writing that down, having that strategic plan, and then figuring out how to get there. So again, starting with your skills and talents. What do you want to do? Okay, if you want to be that new administrator or that new teacher role, have you talked to a person who's in that role to find out how they got there? Talk to them, figure out their journey. Now, it may not be the same journey, but you can figure out some advice. I think that's the greatest thing, having an informal interview with somebody. Figure out what's the best thing, a part of your job. What is your story? What do I need to prepare? I'm interested in doing this. How do I get there? I always say, I want to become a deputy or eventually a human resource director. So I'm looking at those job opportunity announcements and figuring out what skills do I need and figuring out, okay, Joy, you're doing this. If there are gaps, I'm figuring out how I can navigate and close those gaps to make myself more marketable. So I think it starts with that networking. It starts with having those conversations, making sure that you're learning your gifts and crafts, all of that. And if you have to go back to school, take some classes, all of that to better yourself out. So I think those are things that you can do now. And have some coaches and mentors. That is key. Have more than one. When I say I look back over my journey, coaches and mentors and programs, leadership programs have all been a part of this journey. They have all prepared me for where I am today.
And Joy, you took the words out of my mouth. That was one of my biggest mistakes, is that I did not identify a mentor early on in my career. And so I just thought, I'll just be the best teacher I can be. My students love me. My principal love me. And so eventually they will, my principal will promote me or advise that I should, do something else. But as long as I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm fine. But you have to be intentional. You have to be strategic. And so I didn't do that. I wasn't intentional about, experiencing the things that I needed to do in order to be a teacher leader. I was just having a great impact within my four walls, and I didn't think about that next position, that next role. And so I'm so glad that you talked about that, about getting a coach, getting a mentor to guide you so that you're making the right steps for that
Right.
next position.
Right. And being an advocate, like I said, you are the masters of your own
Yes.
destiny. You are the driver. So, and you are your best advocate. And so sometimes, and that coaching mentor can help you have those conversations. So if you want to promote, talk to your boss about, hey, they want me to do this, but I really want to go on this. How do you have those conversations? So that's what that coaching mentor is really helping you to do. But you have to advocate for yourself. And that requires you to what? Speak life into your situation. Say, yes, I aspire to do this. And hopefully you have leadership that is able to understand, and that's going to open up opportunities. But in the absence of a true leader, guess what you got to do like me? You got to make your own path. And that's when you look out into what? Your village and what? Your network to figure out who in my network
Right back to
is
that
doing this.
village.
Align yourself with these people to help me get to this next level.
Yes. Yes. Joy, you are speaking my language. All right. So, so I love it. So now when I read this book, Joy, because, I haven't gotten the book yet, but I'm getting it. When I read it, now I'm going to see Joy, but what other types of leaders am I going to learn from when I get this book?
Oh yeah, it's a combination. You're gonna learn about all kinds of things. We have charismatic, we have servant leadership, we have parental leadership. I mean, we have leading from all levels. So you are going to walk away with a combination of just great leadership tips. How to be resilient. I mean, it's going to be one that is going to be impactful for your life. Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, can you tell the people a little bit about the book, or where to find the book? When will it be released, and where can we find the book, Joy?
All right. Yes, yes, yes. So we are actually launching the book next Tuesday, a week from today. So we're super excited.
Yes.
Super excited. But on my website, which is www.3eeeconsultant.com. Thank you so much. It's scrolling through. You can go ahead and order the book. We are taking pre-sales, but we are believing this book will become the bestseller. Yes, 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 the international bestseller. So we are super excited. It's an impactful, because it's funny, because again, we're all writing separately, and then when you come together, we talk about each other's chapter. I'm just super excited to get the book in my hand, to read it, because it's going to be one that I'm going to be teaching from, that I'm going to be referencing from, as I'm impacting people's lives, and I'm teaching the future HR practitioners about this is everything that you will have to deal with. And everything. So when we talk about the time is now to be impactful, to make a difference in any organization, the time is now.
Now, thank you
Right
so
now.
much, Joy. Now, listen, Joy. Now, I welcomed you to the village, and you joined the village. So that means you're not going to be a stranger, right?
No, I'm not going to be a stranger. Yes, but love to come on back. Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you so much for pouring into the village and for sharing your words of wisdom and your expertise. How can we follow you on social media? How can the people contact you?
Yeah, so I am on all social media. So again, on Instagram, it's 3EEE Consultant. Again, the website is 3EEconsultant.com. Again, I'm on Facebook under Joi, Joi Brown. Please reach out to me. Yes, yes, and we have some upcoming master classes. Like you said, Dr. Ross, she already hit it. She didn't even know that was coming. But ready, set, next. I want to make sure you are ready and prepared for your next. Because we're going to speak that thing into existence.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you again, Joy. Don't be a stranger. Don't worry, guys. If you want to hook up with Joy, don't worry. She's part of the village now. Thanks again, Joy. See you next time. All right, now, village. Then that was just step one of our series on leadership, our journey to leadership. You want to stay tuned, because this Thursday, we're going to hear more about leadership. So join us on Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to hear from another dynamic leadership expert. Dr. Karen Hills Pruden is going to join us this Thursday so that we can take our leadership game to the next level. So again, guys, welcome to the village. Make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Village LG. Don't forget the LG. And be sure to share our posts, our videos, and be sure to follow and like. See you next time on Thursday. Again, leadership is a mindset, not a position. Thank you. Have a wonderful night, everyone.